Can I have a word with you in private, please?
Yes, what is it? I'm incredibly busy at the moment.
Well, I don't like having to say this, but I think if you and I are to continue working together, we're going to have to draw up some ground rules. We're not exactly getting along like a house on fire, are we?
Oh, and you think it's all my fault, I suppose?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to get to the root of the problem and to understand where we're going wrong. I'm not trying to lay all the blame at your feet. I know that I probably share at least 50% of the responsibility.
I'm sorry, I'm being out of order. Let's start this conversation over again, shall we?
Yes, let's. As far as I'm concerned, I can't see any good reason why you and I can't get along a bit better.
OK, I agree with you that if we're going to work side by side, we're going to have to establish some common ground. There's no need for us to be at each other's throats all the time.
So what do you propose?
Well, we work in very close proximity to each other and our tasks overlap to some extent, so we're bound to fall out or have disagreements from time to time. We work in a high-pressure environment and a little bit of friction is inevitable.
Yes, I accept that, and I do try to make allowances for it, but, well, to be totally frank, sometimes you just wind me up. Or rather, I should say, I get wound up, and I let my emotions get the better of me.
So do I. You're not the only one. But even though we're both part of the same team working towards the same goal, there's no need for us to be treading on each other's toes all the time. Maybe instead of being in competition with one another, we could pool our efforts and resources for the common good.
One thing we could do that might help smooth over our troubled working relationship would be get a third party to arbitrate between us. What do you think?
It's not a bad idea, but I don't think any kind of mediation will be necessary. We should be able to sort it out between ourselves. We're grown adults after all. I think we've just got off on the wrong foot.
I believe that it would be advantageous to establish who's doing what job. Sometimes we tend to get confused and find ourselves trying to do each other's jobs instead of figuring out where our particular strengths lie.
Yes, we have certainly ended up fighting for the same piece of ground at times.
I propose that we try to keep out of each other's way for the time being. You stick to your tasks and I'll stick to mine. This will give us a bit of breathing space, and then when we do have to work together, it should be less problematic. I think since having had our little discussion the other day, things have become a lot easier, and we seem to be getting along with one another so much better than we were.
Yes, I think it was just a case of getting it off our chests. You know, bringing the problem out into the open. Hopefully we won't fall out again.
As far as I'm concerned, the problem has been resolved successfully, and I've got no lingering resentments. In fact, I was just about to ask you for a little advice on this design project I'm involved in. I just don't seem to be getting anywhere with it. I've hit a bit of a dead end.
I would be more than happy to take a look at it. Email me the file and I'll see if I can come up with anything new. They do say that sometimes two heads are better than one.
Did you manage to find the time to take a quick glance at the new design project I sent you by email yesterday? I know you've been up to your eyes in work recently, but I could really use some fresh ideas.
Yes, I spent a few hours poring over it last night, and I think you're basically on the right track with it. But I do have a few suggestions that might be able to help it along a little.
Go ahead, I'm all ears.
I found the basic idea stunning in its simplicity and very innovative. The only thing I thought was letting the project down was the logo.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Well, I don't want to offend you, but lettering is not your strong point, is it?
It's true, but if you'd said that to me a couple of months ago, I'd probably have hit the roof. I'm so glad we've had that little talk. It's made communication between us so much more open and frank.